Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Featuring Dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome. Glad you joined us. We're getting ready to race at Homestead, Florida, which used to be the last race of the year. And these days, it's the, what do you call the one before the penultimate? That's too hard to remember. Glad you could join us. Todd Bailing in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, joined by my three Wisconsin compadres. Dan Margetta of St. Francis, USA. Hi.
Hey, good morning. Is it the pre-penultimate?
Pre-pen. I like that. Brian Schmidt of Utzberg, Wisconsin.
Morning. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just say there's two left.
You know, I kind of like that. And that lovely female voice you hear, PJ Noodleman of Trempealeau, Wisconsin. Hi, Peach.
Hi there.
I just want you guys to know I tuned in the last couple of weeks while I was on the road, and I loved listening. It was a wonderful. Both shows were great, and a couple things have happened since I've been away. One, Riley Herbst became a race car driver. Where the hell did that come from? And we've got ourselves the first of the four that are going to be in the championship. No surprise to any. All of us, you know, experts put the 5-car on our list of finalists after all the flowing words about Kyle Larson this week about, he's the greatest driver ever and all that. You would think it's pretty much important that he does make the Final Four and start winning championship. If he's considered to be one of the all-time greats, he's going to have to win a few here, I think, just because otherwise, how do you know he's one of the best? He certainly is one of the best in open-wheel cars, and we'll find out more about his exploits later in the program. But we're very happy you joined us. We're at Homestead. Martin Truex on the pole, 167.411 miles per hour. A couple of Toyotas right at the top of the chart. Top three are all Toyotas. It has been an interesting week. We should say before we go any further that our thoughts and prayers go out to the Refner family. They lost one of the all-time great short track racers from the state of Wisconsin. Tom Refner passed away this week. He won 391 features in his career in Wisconsin, but Madison specifically, he won 60 features. He was a two-time track champion, and that magical season of 1975 when he won 67 features. It is no mistake at all that he is a Hall of Famer, and he led the charge for his arch rival and one of his best friends, Dick Trickle, to have that Trickle Memorial. I mean, Tom Refner had as much to do with putting that Trickle Memorial up there in Rudolph, Wisconsin, as anyone did. And so it's a sad week for all of us that followed short track racing in the state of Wisconsin. One of the all-time greats passed away this week. Our thoughts to the entire Refner family. And if anybody else would like to participate in this program, you can do so. If you need a telephone and a finger to dial with, and that number is 414-421-7901, and you can weigh in on any of the subjects that we talk about on this program, and or make up one of your own. We don't really care. Now then, the race today will be on Channel 4 in Milwaukee, televised on NBC at your local affiliate. The green flag is at 1:36 Central Time, 85 degrees and 85% humidity. Whoo, baby. Humidity will be dropping during the day. So by the end of the race, it'll be a little bit less, but I don't know if that's going to matter, really. It's not going to be part of it. And
track usually provides pretty decent racing. They hit a home run when they have this progressive banking here at home. You can run. There's like at least 3 lines. There's like the bottom, the middle, and way on top. It's usually where it finishes. You see, the rim riding guys usually seem to do good here. And it just visually plays out to be a good race. I think we're having 3 lanes and cars having options to go where they need to be.
Dan, it's my favorite track, and I've never been there. Amazing, isn't it? And speaking of running that high line, how about Sam Mayer yesterday winning the Xfinity race and putting himself into the Xfinity championship for at Phoenix, holding off a very fast closing Riley Herbst. See above, where the hell did he come from? And by the way, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in that race, one of his 2 races a year, and finished 5th. Nice run for him. But Sam, what a run, and running up against the wall. It's kind of hard to pass those guys who are rim riding, it seems to me, isn't it?
Yeah, make your car work on the bottom that way, or you're going to have to slide job him, if you can pull one of those off and just get in front of him before he gets off the corner. But what a deal for Sam Mayer all of a sudden. I mean, Brian, you were saying that in June he hadn't won a race yet.
Yeah, think about it. Going into that Saturday morning of the Xfinity race at Road America in June, Sam didn't have a win yet, and here he sits now with 4 wins on the season. And he had said it after winning that race at Road America. I think I just had to get my first one, and maybe this will really open the floodgates for me. Well, he was right. I mean, he was right, and he did it up against the wall at Charlotte. He needed to win that race in order to advance, and he did, and now he put himself over here, and he didn't even mess around. There's 1 race to go, and he's got himself locked into the Final 4. So he's going to be a definite threat when we get to Phoenix, and it'd be really cool to see a Wisconsin boy bring home the Xfinity Championship.
It would, and boy, oh boy, it's like a different driver since that date in June when I don't know, there's a thing about sometimes just winning your first race and getting that behind you, and you can stop thinking about, oh my God, am I ever going to win a race? And now how many races can I win? And that's seems like
and for those wondering, I know we always like to talk to the Wisconsin drivers after they win. Multiple times after his wins here, we've asked him to see if he can be on, but they're an avid church-going family, and Sam has told us multiple times, right? He's in church when this show is going on, and he apologizes for not being with us. But we're going to try to make it work sometime in the off-season.
Not here with us heathens, apparently. But, one of these weeks we'll catch him on his way or after church, I think. But hopefully that would be nice. In the truck series, like it would have been nice to have a Wisconsin driver in the truck Final 4. Well, it won't be Ty Majeski. He was eliminated yesterday as Carson Hocevar made friends on his way to his win yesterday to join Corey Heim, who was a previous winner. Grant Enfinger and Ben Rhodes, Ben Rhodes, crew chief, made a hell of a gamble to leave him out on tires. And what they had said, if there had been a caution, he would have been pretty much out, but he certainly they made the right pick there, and he ended up as part of the Final 4. So we know
got to do. I mean, if you're not, it doesn't looking good, you got to somehow flip the script, and that's on the crew chief. That's the Rich Lucius, I think, is back over there, and that called it for me. Put him in the Final 4. I mean, right, PJ? I mean, sometimes the call has to come from the pits, and you have to flip the script that way.
You bet, and that was a great call by Rich Lucius. Other notes, though, too, from the truck race is Zane Smith got DQ'd after finishing P2 for a windshield support violation.
What the hell is that now?
People were talking that they could see like where his name is on the upper part of the windshield, that it was caving in under race trim. And sure enough, they checked after the race, and there was a support missing to keep it in place.
And that's a competitive advantage?
Aerodynamics can play a role, apparently. Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
And Ty's truck yesterday they just never had it, and it's one of those deals where ever since the incident happened where him and Joe weren't able to be together, it's kind of what we're hoping wasn't going to happen, but it seemed like it did happen, where they just didn't get the groove together after that occurred to be as fast as we know they can be. And unfortunately, this is where they ended up. They couldn't quite get it taken care of.
Yeah, they couldn't get the truck off the splitter is what it sounded like. And I do think that they missed Joe's leadership on there. I mean, I think even though they might have been able to communicate with Joe, it's delayed communication. So it's not, Johnny on the spot with it. But Joe Shear definitely needed to be there to lead. And he will be back at Phoenix. So we'll see what they can do when they get back together.
We're very happy you're tuned in. LTN will return right after these messages.
Today, it's the Packers and Broncos from the Mile High City. Coverage begins with Packers game day at 11. Kickoff at 3:25.
What a stand for the Green Bay defense.
On Milwaukee's home for your Green Bay Packers. 97.3 The Game.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines. Just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com. Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
William Byron guides the field off turn number 4.
Playoff round of 8 heads to Homestead Miami Speedway.
Trouble right here in the triangle. Hard crash. Carson Hocevar involved in the crash.
With 3 races remaining until a champion is crowned in Phoenix.
Checkers is out. Finishes car spin.
It's the Forever 400 presented by Mobile One.
Sunday, coverage starts at 12:30 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to LTN. Thanks for joining us last week at Las Vegas. Not only did Kyle Larson beat his longtime open-wheel driver buddy / competitor, Christopher Bell, but something happened that I just am still shaking my head. Blaney did not make it through. Brian Blaney's car did not make it through post-race technical inspection. There was an issue with the left front shock. Any of you know anything about left front shocks?
It ended up getting rescinded, though.
Well, yeah, but what was the problem in the first place, and why did it change?
The template. It was NASCAR's template. They didn't have it set right, or it got moved somehow during the whole process.
It was really too long or something, right? It was too...
Yeah.
Like that, which is weird that I guess so much happens in the shocks now that they have rules that tight on them as well now. You really can't do anything anywhere anymore. I mean, it was just 8 years ago, 9 years ago at Homestead. I mean, I built the shocks on the 34 car. And
there you go.
What's doing that anymore?
Doesn't it make you just shake your head, though? I mean, NASCAR rescinding a penalty like that? And, of course, when that kind of thing hits the internet, all these keyboard warriors go, oh, Penske paid NASCAR off and blah, 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 blah. I just find it amazing. And Penske's organization thanked, NASCAR for the integrity, blah, blah, how that goes, too.
It's important if you make a mistake to admit to it, and that's what they did. They checked it.
That's what they did.
And, that speaks of volumes throughout the whole field that way, that, Tech is, Tech's not prone to not making mistakes either. I mean, if they make a mistake, admit to it.
Brian, with the points the way they are, that's the 12 car right now is 17 points behind the cut line, and it would have really just bitch slapped them right out of it.
Yeah, they would have been done then. That penalty would have been catastrophic for them as far as trying to point their way in without a win. Yeah, it's still going to be difficult with 17 down. See, the problem with the way this set up to try to point your way in right now is, you're probably going to get one of those winners, this week. You're probably going to get a winner at Martinsville. So there's really only one spot of it.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, y'all. Darius Rucker here. A lot of people ask me, what inspires your music? And one of the big things is a strong sense of place. That's why I love my home state of South Carolina and want to share the awesome things it has to offer. From the beautiful mountains down to the sunny coast, it's got it all. Not to mention two of my personal favorites, great golf and amazing food. Come see why I love this place. Visit discoversouthcarolina.com.
Available, and all 8 of these cars, for the most part, are all running together all the time, so it's really hard to make up any ground. I mean, the best way to do it would be in a stage where Ryan Blaney would be able to win a stage and then hope that 3 or 4 of the other guys didn't even finish inside the top 10, but that's very unlikely. So points right now are a very difficult proposition as far as trying to get yourself into the Final Four that way. I think winning is really the only way. Yes, one person will do it, but that's going to be as we saw last year at the end of Martinsville, a Hail Mary type situation there to get that last spot.
And I don't think you can count on points to get in. You got to go for the win. Let me ask, last week, being at Vegas, I actually listened to Larson's radio during that race. And I got to give, I think it's Cliff Daniels as the crew chief. I think it was him that was on there at the end of that race because Bell was closing and he was coming in and probably the last 20 laps. And you can tell it was kind of, Larson was noticing it, and they were in his ear and telling him he's driving his car way too hard. He's not going to get you. If he's going to get to you, he can't pass you. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Coming off of 2, you had a great run off before. I mean, they were just in his ear constantly, keeping him abreast, knowing that Bell was closing, but he's probably going to run out of car by the time he got there. And I think that was important because we all know Kyle Larson's kryptonite is Christopher Bell. If you watch the Chili Bowl, that seems to what happened. He seems to pay attention to him, closing to him. He makes mistakes. And it was kind of cool. It was a whole team effort there to kind of keep him focused and pull that one off. And Bell got super close on the last lap. And he was getting almost too close for comfort there at the finish, but it worked.
In the points the way they are now, it really looks as though William Byron is going to be the guy that's going to transfer on points unless he shoots himself in the foot. He's plus 91 points. I mean, come on. And from there down, it's pretty much it's close. So you had 2 Chevys at the top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 straight.
Oh, Byron's only plus 9. I mean, it's really close right now. Byron's plus 9. Truex is 2 to the good.
I have 91. Where did that come from?
You must have a typo there.
Yeah.
Truex is 2 to the good. Hamlin's 2 to the good. Bell's 2 out. Reddick is 16 out. Blaney's 17 out. And Buscher's 23 out.
And the Fords are at the bottom.
Tight. Yeah, very tight. This whole thing is really tight. Buscher's probably the longest shot, but there too. 2 stages away. You win a stage, you actually get 11 because there's still a playoff point awarded, which playoff point doesn't do anything in this round, but it's still an extra point, so you get 11 points if you were to win a stage. That's where you got to make your ground up.
Without getting too technical, you understand that we're talking about the Drivers' Championship here now, which does not pay anywhere near what the Car Owners' Championship pays, and Truex is out now of the Drivers' Championship, correct?
Yes, the 19 car is not a part of the Drivers' the Owners' Championship, as they call it. Yeah, they are out of it right now. The 8 cars that are in the Owners' Championship now are the 5, the 24, the 11, the 20. Those are the 4 that are to the good. Then you have the 45, the 12, the 17, and the 9. The 9 is way outside right now. He's 77 points out of the leading spot. You have to do some quick math here. The 20 car is in 4th. That's 4,068 points. The 9 car is at 4,007. So he's
Jeez.
59 points out of the final four.
You know,
so they're just not good.
They're not really going to move to the next round. Yeah, Dan, you were able to witness that debacle last week. You know, it's amazing to me how far the mighty have fallen. Chase Elliott that team is not the same as it used to be.
No, they were not good last week at all. They were good out of the box, second quick in practice, had the tire issue, crashed the car, had to bring the backup car out, started in the back of the field, but then couldn't do anything all day long. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, how good Larson was in a Hendrick car and how bad the 9 car was. I mean, he was racing with the 77 car a lot of the time during the day, and I'm like, geez, that's the Spire car. Unless the Spire got really good, you know, what happened to the 9? And it just wasn't there. You know? And even the 24 faded, too. I mean, none of the Hendrick cars really were that spectacular other than the 5.
We're very happy you took time out of your Sunday morning to join us. We're going to sneak away for a break and come back with, let's go to the legal pad when we come back. Oh, my God, the lawyers are getting rid. We just don't have enough lawyers in this world. We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
This week on NASCAR Live, Ben Rhodes joined the show.
We're right in the thick of it. Every single race right now is Phoenix, right? So when we show up to Phoenix, if we make it into the Final Four, well, then we've done this. We've done this many times now. So I can't say that myself, my crew chief, my team, any of us are nervous. We're just ready to go. This is what we do.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Every Tuesday night at 6 on Milwaukee's Home for NASCAR, the Big 920, and your iHeartRadio app.
Well, it all starts with former Cup owner Ron Devine. He was the owner of the old BK Racing. It was the number 23. Dan, was that a multi-car team at one time? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was at one point. There was a couple cars. I can't remember what the other number was on the car now, but I know 23 was one of it. BK is from Burger King. Didn't he own a bunch of Burger Kings? And that's why BK Racing was there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Isn't that where Alex Bowman got his start, right? I mean, that's kind of where everybody saw him first get his taste of NASCAR, was running with them.
83 was the other car number, I think.
Oh, he did not own Burger King or anything like that. All he had was a bunch of Burger King stores. And so that's how they found themselves a sponsor on his car. Boy, must be a lot of money in them hamburgers. Either way, Ron Devine, grand jury federal indictment this week for 4 counts, failure to pay payroll taxes. You think that's not a big deal, do you? He's facing 5 years and a $250,000 fine. We don't know, that's still to be determined in court, but, they usually have a pretty airtight case by the time they start blabbing it all around. The Truck Series director, NASCAR Truck Series director, I never knew who it was before. Seth Kramlich, his name is. There's a name that you didn't know before he got busted for drunk driving the other night. He will be needing a lawyer, and he is out. He was out for yes. I think he's out for the rest of the year because his court date is at the end of the year. So we'll see what happens. is it a good move for NASCAR to bring people back that have had this sort of thing happen to them, or is it just like any other? He learned his lesson, he paid his penance, and he's back. I don't know how that's going to work. And nothing having to do with NASCAR, but I just was blown away by the number here. The former Formula One CEO Bernie Ecclestone has been ordered to pay an $800 million fine. Are you kidding? Who has it? The guy's 92. I realize he's rich. He has been out of Formula One for nearly 7 years. So he left at 85 years old, and here he is 92 now, and they tell him he owes 800 large. Bernie, you better start get a paper route or something. You're going to need some extra cash there. Some of the things we have to avoid. In other tidbits, as we went into the playoffs, you will remember that Christopher Bell, by being the one of the teams over at Gibbs who made the playoffs, and Ty Gibbs, who had the championship winning pit crew, they switched pit crews so that Gibbs' crew went over to Bell for the playoffs. Makes sense. But then last week at Vegas, I guess, what did they lose, a tire, Dan?
Yeah, actually, a wheel came off. I mean, the whole wheel was down the backstretch. He hit the fence. I'm not sure if hitting the fence caused the wheel to come off or the wheel came off ahead of time, but it rolled pretty far down the track through turns 3 and 4 and went a long way. And NASCAR doesn't like wheels coming off cars. No, they get really fired up about that. So the front tire changer and the jack man have been suspended. And apparently that pit crew over at Legacy Motorsports, the Jimmy Johnson / Richard Petty / GMS / now Matt Kenseth crew, they have been leasing their pit crew from Joe Gibbs. So Eric Jones' 2 crew guys have been moved now from the 43 car over to the number 54 car, which was not the crew he started with at the start of the year. Oh, my God. When Eric Jones pulls in the pits, he's got to wonder what exactly is waiting for him over there. You know, we'll see. But I did mention Matt Kenseth's name, and we don't do that very often anymore. As you guys mentioned here recently, he's gone over to be a guidance and strategy advisor for Legacy Motorsports. He's going to help Eric Jones and Hunter Nemechek, John Hunter Nemechek, with their guidance and strategy. It sounds like he said guidance counselor. Like,
yeah.
Here's a pass. Go Steve Kenseth.
Oh no, not that. Eric Jones. I'm the one that stole his ride over at Gibbs. He's not going to want to help me. And Nemechek's dad, Joe, I mean, that's a pretty good guidance counselor. He's got a, I don't know, interesting. I know you guys covered that last week, but I thought, Matt, I didn't see him coming back in a role like this. As a matter of fact, I didn't know what I saw him coming back as a role in. But it's interesting that that's how he came back. Yesterday, some guy driving a truck named Memphis Villarreal. Now, that's a new one to me. I never heard of Memphis before yesterday. Came in hot with his truck in the truck race and hit Corey Seelig, who was a front tire carrier on another team, and blasted the living daylights out of him, knocked him over the wall, broke his sternum and a bunch of ribs. Your sternum is the middle, like the wishbone. It's kind of like the middle there, and several ribs. That has got to be terribly, terribly painful.
He looked like he was in pain. He was doubled over in the back of a truck when they were taking him over to the infield care center. I felt bad for him, man. That looked terrible.
I have broken my sternum and I have broken a rib before. And I can tell you, you're in for a couple of days of hell there. It's hard to breathe, cough, laugh, get up, do anything, but you better get a nice recliner that is able to push you up when it's time to get up. But either way, Memphis Villarreal, make your debut into something we'll remember you by in the long run. Unfortunately for old Memphis there.
Talking about the Gibbs crews going and from the Legacy Motor Club that they lease him from there. Remember, that's kind of the same situation that the Furniture Row team had with Gibbs. They leased their guys, and it was okay until they suddenly became good enough and competed against each other. So I wonder what happens next year as Legacy goes to Toyota. They suddenly got really competitive. Do they still do that, or they go off on their own and try to get their own?
What I found interesting out of that is that they leased a Chevrolet team, leased the crew from a Toyota team. Are we at a shortage? Way back in the day, if you'll remember, all those guys that were working in the Cup Series were let go as we needed less and less people on pit road, and they wanted to streamline it a little bit. And now we don't have enough guys around so we can put our own pit crew on a track. We have to lease them from another team and pay them, and then they're not even part of your organization. Does that seem unusual to you guys?
It does, because I mean, you said it used to be the train coming in with all the crew guys seem to be unending. Everybody wanted to go down there and be part of it. Now it looks like it's just hard to find help, or maybe how it's set up. I'm not sure. Maybe it's more cost effective to lease it from another team, but in situations like this, I mean, if you're going to get more competitive, you're going to need a decent pit crew to win races. Sometimes you can't keep getting second and third strings.
And maybe our new guidance and strategy advisor will be able to say, hey, why don't we just have our own crew here rather than be at the whim of Gibbs Racing every time they want to steal one of our...
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
When you download the Pick and Save app, you have easy access to savings every day. Get the most out of weekly sales and receive personalized coupons to save on your favorite items, all while earning 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Pick and Save makes it easy to save while you shop, whether it's in-store or online, so you get the most value out of every trip, every time. Download the Pick and Save app now to save big on your next purchase. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone. Must have a digital account to redeem offers. Restrictions may apply. See site for details.
Our guys. Hello? That seems like a slam dunk, doesn't it? We'll be back.
$1,000 in inflation compensation. Happening now.
Listen for the keyword weekdays 9 to 5. Then go to our website and simply enter. Check it out at thebig920.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
We gotta get it started from the jump, bro. The Packers are in the Mile High City for what feels like a must-win game against the Broncos. Doug Russell starts game day coverage at 11 a.m. A.J. Dillon, 5-yard touchdown run. Milwaukee's home for the Packers. 97-3 the game.
Welcome back to LTN. Our old friend Bobby Dotter, who lived and raced out of Milwaukee for some time, he's been a car owner down there, making his fortune from NASCAR. He's what is it? SS Green Light Racing, I think is what it's called.
Yep, that's what it is.
07 and 08, I think are his car number. He got himself a sponsor called Fan Controlled Racing. Here's what it has come to. You're going to love this one. If it's some sort of an app on your phone, I guess. You look it up if you want, because you may want to do this. You'll feel like you're part of the crew when they go to Phoenix. They're going to let people that have the app make some racing decisions for the team. First thing they're going to give you is a choice of drivers. Good news and bad news. You got a choice. Well, that's kind of nice.
I get Kyle Larson in that car?
Who?
Do I get to pick Kyle Larson?
No.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be nice? I think he's available. No, here's your choices. Stefan Parsons, David Starr, J.J. Yaley, and Mason Massey. Oh, this just in. Stefan Parsons has been removed from the list because he got a different ride. So you get to choose one of those three notable drivers, not Kyle Larson. And then during the race, using the app, you get to make in-race decisions for the team.
Oh my God.
If the listeners or the people that use this app actually did that, we're talking about, sorry, Bobby, but it's a backmarker team. Okay, there's no nice way of painting the picture other than it's another backmarker team. So how are you going to know that the decisions that you helped form was anything that took them anywhere but from 25th to 23rd, which is where these teams finish?
I could see Yaley winning that because he's from Phoenix to run Phoenix. And I can
winning the driver vote.
Winning a driver thing. And then I can see a bunch of people sitting in the stands going, hey, wouldn't it be really cool? Let's run Yaley out of gas. Stay out.
When we get to Phoenix, we have to make it a point on Friday afternoon to go down and talk to Bobby. And he'll probably plead for us to be a part of this because we actually know what the heck we're talking about. Vote as often as possible. I can just see it already because you guys know what's going on.
No. Yeah.
Is it Chicago style voting?
There, like most popular driver is. Yeah, I would say vote early, vote often. Yeah, I would say so. Whatever it takes, we'll do it. Hey, speaking of which, all four of us are going to be here in Phoenix at the same time, aren't we?
Yep.
Yes, we will. Isn't
that interesting? We should probably have some sort of Boring Bob style get together somewhere for any listeners that may be out. Let's figure that out. Maybe let's go to Romans one night. Are you guys busy on say Wednesday night before the race? Is that something? I hate to make these up while we're on the air, but let's pencil it in and fill in the blanks later on.
I think we're open.
We'll give you more details as time gets closer. Check your busy schedules, and you never know who shows up at these things, and it might be fun. So we'll see if we can't do that, and meet our newest member of the team here. I don't know how many people really know you yet, PJ. You're still that new voice to the gang here. So
hopefully that means people still like me yet then.
We'll find out, won't we? The keyboard warrior's got to show up in person now. I've never seen anything bad written about. Knock on Formica.
Give it time. Time.
Yeah. You'll piss somebody off sooner or later. That's for sure. Jeff Gordon was asked this week, and God bless him, because if you're asked at a press conference a question that you have no choice but to give the right answer. So Jeff, Larson seems to be a pretty good driver. Is he better than you are or were? What is Gordon supposed to say? The guy drives for him, for one. You think about that. He's the president of Hendrick Motorsports. And your driver just won a race and is trying for a second championship and is motivated beyond belief to win a championship and does a pretty good job all over the place. Everywhere he races, you might as well say it. Yes, he's better than I was.
Apples and oranges comparison there, in my opinion. It's a completely different different era. The championships back then were a full season championship. As we know, the championship now is a one race championship. Mm-hmm. Different era of racing back then. Kyle's been able to hop in, dirt late models, and he's going to run the Indy 500 next year and stuff like that. Gordon wasn't given that opportunity. Both of them have pretty equal USAC,
resumes.
Resumes is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, So, but I mean, it's not. It's hard. It's hard to compare. It's different eras.
I would say, from looking at it from the outside and being primarily a stock car fan, but recently a much more appreciator of dirt racing, Kyle Larson is as good as there's ever been, it seems like to me, in a dirt environment. And yes, he's a fantastic driver in Cup. He's won a championship, of course. Championship drivers are a different mold. It's another level. But, he's not dominant. And I have seen dominance. I've seen dominance from Darrell Waltrip. Now there's a guy, you can't compare anything to what Waltrip did over that course of a few years back there. He was just amazing. Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt. Gordon has won 4 championships and 13 races in 1998. Where are 13 races out of Kyle Larson? I'm sorry.
I don't think you're ever going to see that with this type of car either. This new next gen car really prevents that type of stuff from occurring, I believe, going forward.
It does, but you know what? The best drivers win the most races. That's how it works. So, yeah, I recognize the talent out of Kyle Larson, but to put him immediately that high up on the totem poles, I love him. I think he's a wonderful addition to our sport, and I'm glad he races here and races all those open wheel things. But is he the best? Is he better than Jeff Gordon?
Really? Don't know who's going to come along next. I mean, Dale Earnhardt or Richard Petty was great. Dale Earnhardt came around, kind of took the wind out of the King's sails. Then Jeff Gordon came around, kind of challenged Dale Earnhardt. Gordon was going great. Jimmy Johnson popped up, and suddenly he was there. Now, Kyle Larson is here. Kyle Busch was for a while. Now Kyle Larson came up. I mean, you never know who's coming in the future, too.
I thought Rowdy was going to be the next dominator, like win 5 championships type of domination. And, he's over the top and coming down the other side now, still winning, but having things happen to him that shouldn't happen to people. I didn't like seeing him get fired. We're glad you tuned in. We got some results for you and some other good tidbits when we come back. Stay tuned.
Today, it's the Packers and Broncos from the Mile High City. Coverage begins with Packers game day at 11. Kickoff at 3:25.
What a stand for the Green Bay defense.
On Milwaukee's home for your Green Bay Packers. 97.3 The Game.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Fall has arrived, but there's still time to get your landscaping complete before the snow flies. And PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
William Byron guides the field off turn number 4.
Playoff round of 8 heads to Homestead Miami Speedway.
Trouble right here in the triangle horde crash. Carson Hocevar involved in the crash.
With 3 races remaining until a champion is crowned in Phoenix.
Checkers is out. Finishes car spin.
It's the Forever 400 presented by Mobile One.
Sunday, coverage starts at 12:30 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
The list keeps getting a little smaller as we go along into fall here for our dirt results. The biggest event of the weekend was supposed to be the Dirt Track World Championship for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, their Championship 4. They kind of copied NASCAR's deal out there at Eldora. However, they've been battling bad weather all weekend. They tried to start racing yesterday. They got some qualifying in. They had some steel block cars out on the track, and they had a hellacious-looking wreck because the track was so fast and so rough. So they canceled the rest of the night, and they're going to try to race this afternoon. So if you want to watch the big Dirt Track World Championship this afternoon on Flow, where the 4 drivers, Ricky Thornton Jr., Hudson O'Neal, Devin Moran, and Jonathan Davenport will go for the big $200,000 prize, plus $100,000 to win the race.
If you saw that wreck, that was something. The guy was in the corner, into the turn. He hooked a rut, and he went over on his nose and just snap rolled pretty bad.
Yeah, all by himself without any help from any other cars. So then you knew the track was a little fast. So that's this afternoon, I think around 1 o'clock or so. Who knows? Depends what the
Lots
weather's
to
like.
watch today, huh?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Races that did run, though, will start Thursday, Tulare, California, the Thunderbolt Raceway for the 29th Annual Trophy Cup for the 360 Sprint Cars. Rico Abreu won preliminary race night number 1. Friday night, Maquaquinta, Iowa. Say that 5 times fast. The Iowa Dirt Nationals for the IMCA Modifieds. Drew Jansen was your winner Friday night, and the stock cars went to Josh Morotzek from here in Wisconsin. Kokomo, Indiana, the Kokomo Clash, which rained out a couple weeks ago. They finally got one of the races in for the 410 non-wing sprints Friday night. Robert Ballou was your winner. Of note also that night was Dave Darlin, longtime USAC champion, ran his last ever feature event. Finished 7th. If you remember, he had a stroke a couple years ago. Kind of slowed him down a little bit, and he tried to get back racing, wasn't quite as competitive, and finally decided to hang up the helmet for good. So
Just a cool guy, though, hey, Brian? I mean, Dave
yes,
Darnell,
he was.
Remember, he talked us into going to Paragon Speedway that time.
Yes, one of the nicest guys you're ever going to met. The People's Champion, they called him, and it's true if you ever met him. So he wrapped up his career on Friday night. Tulare, California, night number 2 of the Trophy Cup for the 360 Sprint Cars. Shane Golobic won that one. Also in Mesquite, Texas, the Devil's Bowl Speedway, the birth of the World of Outlaw and Engineering Sprint Car Series back in 1979, I believe it was. This is their last race there over the weekend. That place is being closed down for development, as they say. One of the great racetracks. So they had a 2-day program there Friday and Saturday. Carson Macedo was your winner there on Friday night. Last night in Ogilvie, Minnesota, the Wissota Topless Nationals, 3,000 win for the Wissota Late Models. Pat Dorr was your winner. Modifieds were there. Jeremy.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Elson was your winner. Night number 2 in Maquaquinta, Iowa for the Iowa Dirt Nationals. For the Modifieds, Dylan Thornton was your winner. The stock cars went to Johnny Spa. Gas City, Indiana, the I-69 Speedway for the 410 non-wing sprints. Robert Ballou made it 2 for 2 for the weekend. Bedford, Pennsylvania, the 6th annual Keystone Cup for Super Dirt Late Models, $23,000 to win. Kyle Hardy was your winner. Down in Lake City, Florida, the All-Tech Raceway for the Crate Racing USA 604 Crate Late Models, $28,000 to win in a Crate Late Model. Corey Hedgecock was your winner. The final night of the Trophy Cup at Tulare, Corey Day picked up the win there. And the final ever race at Devil's Bowl Speedway yesterday for the World of Outlaw National Engineering Sprint Car Series, David Gravel picked up the win there. And that is everything for the weekend.
In the asphalt series, we had Winchester 400 last Sunday, the ASA Stars Tour. Gio Ruggiero, who would run over his grandma for a win, picked up the win there.
He had all his tires, didn't he?
He had all 8 of them. And that helped him get there. But yeah, he did actually knock over Stephen Nassie's dad while doing a victory half donut. Kind of a lot of penalties issued as well, too, for both the Ruggiero and the Nassie teams. Apparently some slashed tires on the Johnny Wilson haulers. So, yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans going on. But something that quietly happened in the background was that Cole Butcher finished 2nd. And because Majeski ended up expiring the engine 26 laps in, so he didn't finish the race, running a Michael Hindy car, That really tightened it up. So now Butcher will enter the finale at Nashville just 8 points behind Ty Majeski, as they it'll make good drama, that's for sure, as they go to Nashville in the first weekend of November.
And when that race ended, there, I'm the only one that thought could see that coming when the late restart, Nancy took the outside.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to run you in the wall. Why are you taking the outside?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily like to say, well, I'm just going to say it. Gio Ruggiero is a bit of a knuckle dragger, and he's not afraid to just run people over to get a win, and that's fine, but you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and that'll eventually catch up to you. Yesterday, the following at Dells Raceway Park, super late model action. Casey Johnson getting back into victory lane.
How about that?
Yeah, looked like prime form again. That was really super cool to see Casey do that. And then your Alive for 5 champ in that whole series was Luke Fenhouse, who is going to be making the trek down to Nashville to run that ASA Stars finale as well. In the Midwest Truck Series, Jason Stark took the win. James Swan picking up his 6th Midwest Truck Championship. Congrats to them. And the 602 late models also ran. Tanner Berge wins. He's also the champion and the Rookie of the Year. The Cars Tour ran down at Tri-County Motor Speedway. The late model stock cars had 2 125 lappers. Brendan Queen picked up the win in both of them. William Suwalich finished P2 and P17. Carson Quapple, P12 and P10. The Pro Late models had a 75 lapper, and Caden Quapple picked up that slobber knocker win, and he also ended up with the championship as well. There was a lot of drama in that one.
Yeah, he was running third, right? And the leaders.
Yep.
Second place guy took out the leader coming to the checkered flag, and of course they had a big fight afterwards.
Caden had his own drama as well too with Katie Ettinger early on in that race. So they were all battling for that championship, and there was a lot of shenanigans to be had by all there.
A pattern of races down south of the Mason-Dixon line. They seem to like to fight a lot and wreck a lot.
Yeah, that's racing in the South for you, as my brother-in-law Bruce says all the time. And then also the Classic Finale Part 1 at Rockford was this weekend, and Chad Smith, who had that powerful story from Dells Raceway Park a few weeks ago, he ended up winning that final sportsman feature at Rockford yesterday.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And then, of course, Rockford will have their final races with their late models going to be running next weekend at Rockford.
Interesting. I have a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm curious why Ty was driving for Michael Hind. That car, I would not have trusted a car that was, come down and drive one of ours. It might make it. When your championship is on the line, why would you drive somebody else's car that you know nothing about?
Well, hindsight's 20/20, and I had asked Tobe at length about that, and what it came down to was they haven't run at Winchester. Toby hasn't for a very long time. Ty had never run there before. So do you bring an untested car, an untested setup there, or do you work with somebody who really has that track down pat? Michael Hindy has done very well there. So after much discussion, they decided to go that route. Because they had a known competitive car that they could run. So, yeah, it's just unfortunate, honestly. I mean, who would have predicted that would have happened? I don't know.
And also, Casey Johnson on his win yesterday. That was pretty cool. I was able to watch a little bit of it there at the end. And he had to move Gabe Summers to get by, which is when I figured his vertigo is finally taken care of. He's just proven his way back. We'll be back.
Today, it's the Packers and Broncos from the Mile High City. Coverage begins with Packers game day at 11. Kickoff at 3:25.
What a stand for the Green Bay defense.
On Milwaukee's home for your Green Bay Packers. 97.3 The Game.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The Packers are in the Mile High City for what feels like a must-win game against the Broncos. Doug Russell starts game day coverage at 11 a.m.
A.J. Dillon, 5-yard touchdown run.
Milwaukee's home for the Packers. 97-3 the game.
Welcome back. Dan, you were in Vegas last week. I was curious, what was the crowd like at that event?
It was okay. I mean, there were some empty seats. The way Vegas does it, you got to realize it's more beneficial to get the season package because you have a lot of people go in March. That's the most popular race. They throw that fall race in there for like an extra $50 or $100. It's not a lot. So a lot of people just get the package. And just have tickets if you want to go and use them. I mean, I didn't go the last couple of years in the fall. I went in the spring. This year I went in the fall. So I mean, that's why that fall race. It's hard.
Isn't it hot as hell too?
It wasn't that bad being in October. When it was in September, it was 107. This year was like 89, so it wasn't bad at all.
No, it's not too bad. Yeah, just for those of you who were headed to Vegas, to Phoenix, since I got here 2 weeks ago, basically, it has been in the hundreds since I've been here. But starting Tuesday, the weather is now going to be in the 80s for the time being, they said. In fact, race week, it's supposed to be highs in the 70s all week. So the weather will be
perfect. That's perfect
racing weather, and no doubt about that.
Last year it was warmer in Wisconsin than it was in Phoenix when I was there for the championship weekend, which was really strange.
That's right. I forgot about that. Hey, Brian, I thought this announcement that came out from the Chicago race this week, first of all, that they're talking about and still relevant and they're still racing in Chicago, last we're checking, is good. But the first thing I saw about it was that they're going to change the amount of laps in the race.
Yeah, they didn't change the start time. The start time for that event is still like 4:30 local time. And last year it was a little late, but they were only like about an hour outside of that 4 o'clock start time. And there was no way they were going to finish that amount of laps in that amount of time. So they're changing the race to 75 laps, 165 miles for the Cup race. And the Xfinity race will be 50 laps or 110 miles. That's down from 100 laps that the Cup race was supposed to be this year, and only 220 miles. And I believe they only completed like 75 laps. So they're kind of going right on to that same amount of laps that they ran last year. So still a lot of issues to go out there. It says in here that, NASCAR can cancel the event by the end of March, but would have to pay the Chicago Park District $250,000 termination fee, according to the agreement. In 2024, NASCAR will pay the city $550,000 permit fee. That's up only $50,000 from $500,000 this year. And NASCAR will once again pay the Park District a $2 fee per ticket, 15% commission on food and beverage and merchandise sale. So
NASCAR got
still not a lot more money that we thought the city was looking for. So
why didn't we just start earlier rather than cut the laps?
NBC. I mean,
oh yeah.
Always up to
this isn't working around. Oh no, this is before the Olympics. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're racing today at Homestead Miami Speedway. I noticed that I'm the only one of the four of us that had Tyler Reddick to go to the Final Four. So I'm picking Tyler Reddick to win today at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Dan, you're up next.
I think that's a good pick. That'd be my first choice. I'll take the other rim rider, Kyle Larson. I think a guy that rides the rim is going to win this deal.
All right, I'll put you down for 45. We can agree on this, Brian?
If Larson wins, that means there's going to be 2-point spots open. I'm still sticking with Willie B. I think he's going to punch his ticket and get that in there. I thought he was going to do it last week. He didn't. So I'm going to go with it again. The 24 car punches his ticket.
All right. And PJ?
Well, y'all took everybody I was wanting to
you
take.
Can just go right ahead. If you agree with us, that's okay.
I would have gone with William Byron, probably first choice there.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Between the four of us, we come up with two drivers. Well, so in other words, it's a slam dunk. It's either going to be the 45 or 24 today, right?
That means Denny Hamlin's going to win.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And to the chagrin of the crowd.
Is Toby awake? Is he yelling Chris Buescher from the background? I mean, he needs to win to get himself in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. He should be. This is quite a race at Homestead Miami, and like Dan said, I think it is the model of a perfect racetrack, and it's not the first one. This is the third configuration, if I remember right. One of them was a mini Indianapolis, wasn't it?
Yeah, that didn't last long.
That didn't last very long. Then it was all totally flat, and then they put this progressive banking in, and it's been great ever since.
This is the type of layout that I wish they could replicate and put somewhere else in the country. The biggest problem they have in Homestead is its location. I mean, the stands yesterday were very empty. That's a very tough location to get a crowd for, especially this time of year. I don't know if they do better in March. They were going to try it, but COVID really screwed that up. But, if you were ever to reconfigure some of these places around here, and I know the way the money is these days and the way the economy is and the way infrastructure is, you're not going to see that type of stuff. But if you could, this would be the type of track I'd like to see them maybe drop in Chicago or Kansas or Kentucky or, some of those locations where you can get a big crowd. I think it'd be awesome.
Where we have tried it in the past. And, yeah, you're right, though. This is the ultimate racetrack as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to have to make it there someday. I just don't know when that's going to be. Thanks so much for tuning in. We love our listeners, and we encourage you to download it. If you miss it ever, go ahead and download it off the iHeart or iTunes or wherever you download your radio programs. We're lucky that we have so many wonderful listeners. And as we like to remind people, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer and website coordinator is Matt Losi. For all of us involved with the program, thanks so much, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.